Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys. This is where I work. I'm on break right now. Uh, literally thousands of people go in and out of this building every day, and we haven't been closed a single day throughout this whole thing. And we have 7 confirmed cases of the CCP virus.
Here's a small section of the building I work at in case you couldn't tell how big it was in that video. I didn't want to take video of the building directly because I don't want to blatantly give away where I work. I work overnights and I took this picture in the morning before I left. But yeah, literally thousands of people work here. Like I said, we've been open every single day during this whole pandemic. I stayed home for 2 weeks in March because I thought I was exposed to the virus, and I wanted to do my part to slow the spread. Ever since I heard about Dr. Li Wenliang, I'd been following the CCP virus outbreak very closely, and I was pretty paranoid. People had been getting sick and had fevers and coughs in my building long before anyone cared about the virus. The reason I stayed home for 2 weeks was because there was a guy working next to me who told me he had been in the hospital with 104 fever a few days earlier. The doctors had even told him to take a week off work, but, his attitude was, nah, I got bills to pay. So after that, I self-quarantined for 2 weeks. I never got any symptoms. By the time I started going back to work, everyone was taking the virus seriously, and they'd started to do social distancing. And a week after I'd been back, they were handing out masks and doing mandatory temperature checks. My whole point is that mitigation measures work. I know we've actually had way more than 7 cases, but we've had 0 deaths, at least as far as I know. I think that it's time to reopen the country. I think we have enough information on the virus now, and if my personal experience is anything to go off of, it's possible to stay safe and go to work. With proper precautions like temperature checks, disinfecting surfaces, wearing masks, social distancing as much as possible, and just basic hygiene, you can work with a low risk. 7 cases and no deaths out of thousands of people isn't scary. I think it's also worth considering the fact that Sweden, which hasn't shut down this entire time, only has slightly higher deaths per capita from the CCP virus than the US. From my point of view, there are at least 2 groups of people who have had absolutely irrational responses to this virus. One of the groups is the people that think the virus is a hoax. It's not a fucking hoax. China wouldn't risk its international reputation and throw away decades of soft power and influence for no reason. Because there's so much propaganda and misinformation out there, most people don't seem to understand that this is life or death for the Chinese Communist Party. This is their Chernobyl. The Chinese Communist Party is only able to maintain power through lies, censorship, and murder. If the international community turns its back on China, the CCP could collapse. If this virus was actually a hoax, the Chinese Communist Party would have every reason to expose it as a hoax. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the CCP started the narrative that it's a hoax. Their influence is far more pervasive than we realize. They seemingly control or manipulate a lot of our media and one of our political parties. The other group is the people that seem to welcome tyranny and think that if you step outside your house, you're a fucking murderer. These are the bootlicking scumfucks that actually believe communist media outlets like CNN and have no problem with being under house arrest for as long as their overlords deem it necessary. I worked 50 and 60-hour weeks for the entire month of April in a building with literally thousands of other people to make sure that you fucking ninnies got your cat food and dildos delivered to your doors. At this point, there's no reason why young, healthy people shouldn't be out working. And in fact, more people could die globally if we don't restart the economy soon. There's a report from the UN Not that the UN is like any kind of trustworthy or reputable organization, but there's a report from the UN warning about a global famine that could kill millions. Ooh, China's little virus that they let loose on the world has killed 250,000. The famine caused by the global economy crashing could kill more than that in a single day. Stop bowing to your stupid fucking petty tyrant Democrat governors and get out and get back to work. I'm actually encouraged by the fact that a lot of Americans, even people in California, I guess you can call them Americans too, they aren't taking this lying down. They're getting out and standing up for their rights. They aren't quite the Americans that the Hong Kongers think we are, but still, it's good to see. Americans shouldn't be the kind of people that are scared into giving up their freedoms. Just to be prudent, I still think we should take precautions, but we need to get back to work. Out.